What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday. Hope all you had a wonderful weekend. Um, Getting into this episode, man, some shit has been revealed in this episode, and I liked it. And it was predictable because I fucking knew it from the beginning. I knew it, and I told y'all this shit. Some people was hitting me up in the comments talking about, "Oh no, it's too premature for you to say that Steve Burton is really Jason Morgan." I know what the hell I be talking about. You can't tell me he wasn't coming back as Jason Morgan. There's no way Steve Burton, who played a character for over 20 years, is coming back as somebody different. Hell no. And everything they did in this episode proved he was Jason. I mean, come on. Even when the orderlies came into the orderlies came in there, Steve Burton whooped their ass. He fucked them up. His combat skills, come on. I was like, yeah. After I seen him whoop all them guards' ass, I said, yeah. And the way he had that dude in the chokehold, I said, that's motherfucking Jason. You can't tell me no different, because Jason was a fucking powerhouse. He used to whoop people ass on the daily. So trust me, I know that's Jason. And the phone number that he gave Ava, at first, when I first seen him write down the number, I assumed it was Sam. But it was Sonny because the doctor injected Jason with something and he had him handcuffed to some bed. And Ava, for whatever dumbass reason, I don't know why, would she give that guy the phone number? I said Ava. Now that pissed me off right there about Ava. And I've been singing her praises lately. And she just did some dumb shit today. I was like, bitch, what you give him the number for? She pulled out that number. I said, Ava, you better not do it. Don't do it, Ava. She gave that man the phone number. I said, oh, why you do that, Ava? Maura West, come on. Maura West, if you seen the script to this episode and you saw that Ava was supposed to give that doctor that number, why you ain't tell Shelly and Frank Valentini hell no and get that out the script? Why you ain't just tell them that, Maura? Come on, you got some clout on this show. Please. Hell, you the one keeping this bitch alive. You got some clout. Shit, tell them you ain't doing that dumb shit, cause you know that shit was stupid. Um, don't give that fool. Why would you? I was pissed when Ava did that. I said, no, Ava, no. I said, don't give him the number. What you doing, boo? Don't give him the number. What you? Don't. No. And she gave him the number. I said, Ava, you done lost the point with me. Ava lost the point with me today. And I've been singing her praises every day. Today you lost some cool points with me. You lost a point. You ain't lost some points. You lost a point. I take a point off. Damn, Ava. You know not to do that. Cause the guy basically was calling her a bitch, and I was like, Ava, shoot him. Like, get a pole or something, knock his punk ass out. You know Ava don't play that shit. Not the Ava I know. She don't play that. You call her a bitch, she gonna slap the dog shit out you. But she just desperate to get her face back because she know that's probably like the only clinic that can do it. So that goes to show her desperation to get that face back in order. But I was just pissed off by that scene. I said, don't do it, Ava. So the doctor called that number, and the number was Sonny's office number. And Sonny picked up the phone. I said, oh shit. So that goes to show that really is Jason Morgan. Like Steve Burton really is Jason. For those of you who've been asking me in the comments, does Steve Burton's Jason ever met Ava before? No. The answer to that is no. Steve Burton left the show a few months before Ava came on the show. Steve, I believe, left in October of 2012. Maura didn't come on until, I believe, spring of 2013. So they never crossed paths. The only Jason she knows is Billy Miller's Jason. That's the only Jason she knows. Um, so this is her first encounter with Steve Burton as Jason. Her first encounter. Um, so yeah, I was kind of I at first I didn't think that was Sonny's number because I'm like, wouldn't Ava recognize Sonny's number? I mean, that is her baby daddy, and I'm pretty sure she called Sonny so about Avery. So I was kind of shocked that Ava didn't recognize the number. But then I remembered, I'm like, yeah, that is his office number. So I'm sure the only number Ava has for Sonny is his cell phone number. So that's probably why she didn't recognize the number. She knew it was a Port Charles number. She just didn't know who number it was. 'Cause I'm pretty sure she never called Sonny's office before. And the fact that Jason knew that number automatically tells me that that's Jason. He wrote that shit down without even thinking about it. So I'm like, yeah, he's definitely real Jason. Um, so we got some insight from Betsy about this whole Tale of Two Jasons thing. So apparently Susan was pregnant with twins around the same time Heather was pregnant with Franco. So Heather had Franco When Heather gave birth to Franco, she gave not only Franco to Betsy, but she gave Jason's twin brother to Betsy. And apparently the boy was his name was Drew. So the twin brother name is Drew. So he was born with a heart defect. And apparently after a few years or whatever, Betsy said he died. But obviously he didn't die. So this is where I'm still confused. I understand where Betsy was talking about how this whole thing came about with the twins and why they kept one of the twins and why Jason was sent to live with the Quartermains because they were trying to protect at least one of the children from the Quartermains. I don't understand why all these people keep having babies by Quartermains but want to keep the kids away from the Quartermains. Carly, Betsy, why do y'all keep y'all kids away from the Quartermain like they're the devil? Like, come on, yeah, like I said in previous videos, they bicker, they battle each other, but it ain't like they run around shooting each other, minus the time AJ shot Allen in the back over 10 years ago. We're gonna scratch that from the record book right now. But other than that, ain't like they be trying to kill each other, physically harm each other. Shit, it's just backstabbing and banter with that family. So I don't understand why they try to keep the kids away from the Quartermains. I really don't understand that. Like they act like they're the devil or something. Um, so Jason was sent to live with the Quartermains so Susan could, hash out the whole custody thing with Alan, while Betsy took care of Franco and Drew. So that's why so that was Drew that was in the picture with Franco, not Jason. It was his brother Drew. So Betsy raised Franco and Drew as twins until Drew died, allegedly. So after he died, that's when Betsy packed up and she left with Franco to another state where nobody knew Drew because she had legally adopted, you know, Drew and Franco. Like it wasn't an adoption on record. I believe she illegally adopted Drew because that wasn't an adoption on record. So people would ask a lot of questions. She could have went to jail, so that's why she had to keep it quiet. So she told Franco that Drew was an imaginary friend. He never existed. He was just imaginary. Um, so now we finally know who was in that picture with Franco. What I'm confused about is what happened to Drew after he supposedly died? And where did Helena Cassadine fit into all of this with the whole clinic, Crichton Clark Clinic 3 years ago? What happened with that? So my theory is I'm not too sure if Helena knew Drew was really Jason's brother or she just mistook Drew for Jason Morgan. I'm not too sure how that played out because it's kind of, it's weird. Drew apparently died according to Betsy. He had a heart defect. Helena said that her men fished Jason out the water the night Faison shot Jason in 2012. She kidnapped Robin to bring Jason back to life. And they all assumed that it was Jason that came back to Port Charles with Robin, but apparently, obviously, that was Drew. That wasn't the real Jason. So Jason, Steve Burton, must have been in Russia the entire time at that clinic, being doped up on drugs. So Drew was on Cassadine Island with Helena the entire time and at Crichton Clark. So I'm just trying to piece this all together of did Helena know that Jason was a twin or he had a twin? Like, what's the story on this? Like, I really want to know more about this. Like, what the fuck? Who knew what? I don't think Nicholas knew that Jason had a twin. I doubt Nicholas knew. Would it shock me that Helena and Victor knew? No, it wouldn't shock me. Um, so Drew, aka Billy Miller, I'm calling him Drew because we all know that he's the twin. Um, Woke up in the clinic. He finally opened his eyes. He had a seizure, but they, stabilized him. And what I find so funny is Sam now officially has two children by brothers. Yep, she's definitely not far from her mama. Because if you remember, Alexis has two children by two brothers, Sonny and Rick. But Sam has two children by two twins, Jason and Drew. Go figure. Yep. So her children are officially cousins and brother and sister. Damn. Ain't that a weird family dynamic? Because Christina and Molly are not only sisters, they're cousins. Ain't that some shit? Um, I guess they're, keeping it in the family. Go figure. That's some weird that's just some weird shit. But yeah, so Drew is alive, and that also means that Drew, since he is Alan's son also, he is entitled to some ELQ stock. According to Edward's will, he is now officially a Quartermain shareholder, ELQ shareholder. Um, but I mean, it was obvious that Drew wasn't really Jason. It was obvious because everybody kept talking about how different he was when he came back, how he easily walked away from the mob. That's some shit Jason would have never done. Jason made so many sacrifices to stay in that business. He gave up Jake to be in that business. So for him to easily walk away now, I said, yeah, that's not really Jason. I had a feeling. But I do commend Billy Miller because he did step up and make Jason Morgan his own character, even though he's not Jason. But we all should have seen this shit coming. Like Stefano, the late great Stefano Demira once said, typical, predictable to the very end. Stefano used to say that about Hope and Bo, and it's true on this show. Predictable to the very end. We should have known that shit wasn't, Jason was going to be Jason. We should have known. And Drew, Billy Miller was going to be the twin. It was quite obvious. Um, and we basically got confirmation today. So Franco wants to tell the Quartermains, he wants to tell Sam, damn, I'm pissed that Jane Elliott left the show. You know how good this would have been if Tracy found out Jason had a twin? Damn, yo, that shit would have been comedy gold. Yo, you know how many fucking one-liners Tracy would have had for this shit? Damn. I wonder what Monica gonna say about all this shit. She now has yet another stepchild, Drew. And it sucks that Alan never knew that he had a twin. Like, he had twin sons. Like, it sucks. And AJ is never gonna get to meet his twin brother. Well, not his twin brother, but his half brother. It sucks. But damn, man, they need to bring the Quartermains back. Yo, what the fuck, man? We could get a lot of good stories. Emily, Sky, AJ. Damn. This just, please. Frank Valentini, the cast of the show, whoever, if you ever watch my video at some point in life, even if you don't watch this video today, please hire me as one of your writers. Please. I will bring back so many Quartermains, including Jimmy Lee. Because Jimmy Lee is like the black sheep of the family. You think AJ is the black sheep? No, Jimmy Lee is the black sheep. They don't talk about Jimmy Lee at all. Like, I would bring Jimmy Lee back. I would bring Celia. I don't know if y'all know Celia Quartermain. I believe that's Edward's niece. I would bring, there's so many Quartermains you could bring in. Like, this shit is crazy. I would bring Maya Ward back. I would bring Ethan Lovett back. I love their storyline, Ethan and Maya. It's just so many ideas in my mind about this. I would definitely bring in Sophia Cassadine. I've been thinking about Sophia so much lately. If you don't know who Sophia Cassadine is, that's Mikos, Tony, and Victor Cassadine's sister. Look her up. Yo, if Helena's really dead, Sophia should definitely be on this show. Sophia Cassadine should be on this show. Definitely. She could definitely take over the evil part of the Cassadines. Most definitely. But anyway, so Betsy wants Franco to keep his mouth shut about Drew, because he doesn't want, Monica and the Quartermains coming after her because Betsy feel like they could have her locked up, so she wants him to keep quiet about it. Franco, you better speak. You better voice your motherfucking opinion and tell the world that Drew was, a twin. You better. Don't sit there and be quiet. Um. So anyway, fucking Carly is still in her son's business. She keep ranting and raving to Sonny that they need to protect Michael or whatever. Listen, I'm all for you trying to protect your kid or wanting to protect your kid, but at the end of the day, that boy is grown. If he wants to spend all his money on Nell, I say have at it. Only thing I'm worried about is ELQ stock. That's the only thing I'm worried about. That's it. And I don't even if Nell and Michael ever got married and they divorced, Nell wouldn't even be entitled to the ELQ stock because it was an inheritance. And by law, you're not entitled to an inherit half of the inheritance if you divorce. I'm not too sure about New York law on that, but I'm pretty sure you can't inherit, you can't get half of somebody's inheritance in a settlement. So I think the ELQ stock is protected. But other than that, I really don't care. If Michael wants to be a dumbass and buy this girl a building and be stupid with his money, let him. It's a learning experience for him. He wants to be dumb and naive, let him be naive. Let him go right ahead. I understand that he always wants to see the good in people, but it's like, look at your past experiences. Like, that should show you that you need to be a little bit more inquisitive about the people who come into your life. Like, you should want to know more about their past. I mean, come on, this girl's been accused of murder and you're not even blinking an eye at it. You don't even care. It's like, and if you're not gonna look into it to see if she's guilty, why not look into it to see if you can exonerate her from it? Because she still has yet to be really exonerated from this. I don't believe Nell did it, but why not, look into it to see if you can exonerate her so that way the cops and the family can stop thinking she did it. And that way she could finally live free and and clear. She won't have to worry about a murder charge hanging over her. How about that? Or suspicion of murder. I think it doesn't hurt to look. Look into it. Why not? I just feel like Michael is too damn naive. Like, seriously, that girl gonna take him to the bank if he let her. But at least he was being fair with the tenant situation. Like, he told her, since she claims she doesn't feel comfortable taking that gift, then let her pay rent, and that's exactly what he's gonna do. He probably gonna draw up the tenant agreement, the lease agreement, and he probably gonna have her pay $1 a month in rent. You know how Michael is. He probably gonna be like, "Oh, you only have to pay me $1." Michael's a sucker like that, and you know how Nell is. She see a sucker, so she's about to lick him. But anyway, um, fucking Griffin. Griffin, what the hell, boy? You don't roll up on Valentine like you about to scrap and hit him. Are you crazy? You gonna punch that man in front of a diner full of people? Are you crazy? I understand that you're worried about Ava, but the thing is, he knows where Ava is. He knows that Ava's in Russia. So hop your ass on a plane and go to Russia. That's your only way, because Valentine ain't gonna tell you shit. I am so sick of looking at Valentine and Nina. Like, I really am. I feel like Valentine is better by himself. When he's around Nina, it just irritates me. Nina is a shrew. I don't really care for her. I know she got a little fan base, and I know some of y'all like Nina, but only time I tolerate Nina is when she's running Crimson. That's the only time she's somewhat tolerable, is when she's doing Crimson. Other than that, I can care less. Um. Anyway, I think that's everything in this episode. Oh, Carly got a phone call from Zach's sister. So Carly's definitely about to get some more info on Nell or Janelle Benson about this whole thing. I really don't trust that sister. I think the sister probably it's probably gonna come out that the sister had something to do with Zach dying because she wanted the inheritance, and she probably trying to pin this whole thing on Nell. Probably, more than likely, because I doubt the writers are gonna say Nell is some type of Black Widow all of a sudden. I doubt it. But anyway, yeah, this was actually a pretty decent episode. It was informative. We got some more information on this twin situation. I just want to motherfucking know Helena's role in this. Like, what did Helena know? What did Victor know? With the two of them supposedly dead, I mean, what information are we gonna get out of that? Like, I don't believe Helena's dead, honestly, or at least Victor. But we need to get some info on this because I want to know what the fuck they knew. Or is Nicholas pulling the strings? Is Valentine pulling the strings? Like, who's doing this shit? Like, I want to know what who knew and when and how and what. And we still got some questions, damn it, and we need them answered ASAP. But anyway, hit that like button, hit that comment button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you thought about today's episode, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. Stay blessed.